Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Disco Elysium, where we are still exploring the boardwalk, and as you can see there's definitely more stuff to explore. We have this guy to talk to and some stuff to pick up, so maybe I'm going to check out this first. Okay, we have more money. And what do we got here? Another power box. It charges nothing now. Also apparently there's gotta be some people around here as well. I can't actually see them, but I can see their speech bubbles. The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Okay, yeah, but there's definitely people over here, so I need to find a way to get to those guys as well. But first, let's talk to him. Looks like a father and his child.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles. And his name is Trent Hadelstam.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Trent Hadelstam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Hypertext? What is that supposed to mean? I mean, apparently there's subtext and hypertext. I know what subtext is, but I have no idea what hypertext is. Also, how do you know Kim? Apparently he recognized him. Why do you recognize him and not me? You only greet him personally.
Nice to meet you.
Lieutenant nods. Hold on, hypertext. Wait, what was that about the windows before? You and Kim know each other. Well, at the very least, he knows Kim. But yeah, tell me more about hypertext.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
That doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, I know what a hyperlink is, at least in our reality. It's like a link on the internet, but what is it supposed to be in context of this area? I don't know. I guess I'm not supposed to understand this. But yeah, tell me more about these windows.
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Okay, so now he's talking about monitors. So the hyperlinks actually might be something to do with computers, or the equivalent of computers that they have in this world. Radio computers, whatever they call them. But yeah, whatever. This is probably not important. So you and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
Okay. Well, apparently he's all about radio computers, so I guess the hyperlinks are also something, to do with computers, just like they are in our world. Okay. Very interesting. But why are you looking at this mural?
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
Yeah, he almost seems a little bit too distinguished for this place.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
I have no idea. You tell me, Esprit du Corps.
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Okay, so he likes trivia. Yes, I can vibe with that, I suppose. I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around? What's so fascinating about an empty old building? You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? He does look like he has money. Great, thanks for all the interesting information. Okay, it looks like I can use all of these options, so let's start with the first one. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
He pets his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
All right.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
All right. Drama seems to think he's clean. But yeah, what's so fascinating about this empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes and shields himself from the pattering rain. Which is interesting because it actually just started to rain. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
And apparently that is a subject of interest to you. Look at the building looming over you. Yeah, sure, let's look at it again.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Felt Electrical. I might have, but I would like to learn more.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
So you have to be a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer enjoyer to know this company. He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
That's all right. What was that ace? Very interesting. Let's get back to this later. Yeah, what exactly was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Okay, well, tell me more about that.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. How does he admire the sentence? Fascinating.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
And then what happened?
Indeed. What?
Well, you gotta tell me, because even Encyclopedia hasn't chimed in so far.
The revolution!
Well, apparently the boy knows what's going on. The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is going anywhere useful for me, but I guess I'm just going to keep asking. You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk. Look under your feet. What happened to the engineers, the company people? What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers? That would be interesting to know. How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers? I wanted to ask something else. Okay, I hope I can ask all of that. So yeah, they built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Right, it's still on my map, but that doesn't actually exist apparently.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinaise was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
Clearly, instead of computer wizards, you just got revolutionaries. But yeah, what happened to the engineers?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Okay, so I guess they died, if it is too bleak for the boy. I will ask you about tape computers, though.
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Right, I understand. Turn to Mikhail. He means they all got shot in the head because they were bourgeois. Now, do you know what the bourgeoisie is? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. He explicitly told me not to talk about this. So, tell me about tape computers.
Tape computers?
He nods, wind tussling his suit jacket. Yeah, what did the revolutionaries do with the tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
Le Décret de Mars? The Decree of Mars? Yeah, what was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
Okay, suddenly Encyclopedia woke up again.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree.
Okay, I will try to find that book.
I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
Yeah, maybe at that age, worms are more interesting than tape computers.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
So, how did these tape computers work? Tell me more about that.
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
Okay, Apani, we will be hit with more trivia.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredeport, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Hughes joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dum Center?
Yeah, I kinda caught that as well.
He did it. He said Wompty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
He did.
What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Joost?
Okay, Encyclopedia really needs to know this. Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center, Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Joost. What are you talking about? Okay, back to where we were, tape computers, I think. No, I need to inquire about all of this first.
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up, turned to the lieutenant. Kim, is he making this up? Come on, there is no place called the Womty Dumpty Dum Center of Arts. I don't think he could make up stuff like that. It's gotta be real. But I don't have an option to pick something like that.
In fact, I'm not.
No.
The Womty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
I will take your word for it.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Not cool. Phew, I've seen cooler things than that. I wouldn't know, to be honest. The RCM should get some of those. Yeah, maybe they should.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. So they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
The Feld playback experiment. Why did the revolutionaries destroy it? Yeah, tell me more about that.
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Right. I'm sure you know your stuff. So why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back, the boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. So I feel I really need to get inside the building. Anyway, I may want to ask something else.
But of course, what else?
I want to hear about the Feld building again. You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? Yeah, sure, I guess I'm going to ask it.
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Right. I was just profiling.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
I mean, I'm not doing so bad on money, but I guess it can't hurt to ask. Could I have some of that unimportant money then? I don't want your money. I just wanted to see whether my profiling skills were working. I mean, I have to admit I kind of like this reply. It's very smooth. So should I ask for more money and see if I can get some pity money or pick this one? I think I have enough money at the moment. And I don't really have to spend it on anything. I don't have to pay for my room anymore. I can just buy some books or whatever with it, so I think I'm fine.
Of course, Detective, I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact.
He looks up again, a playful hint shining in his eyes.
I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. Have you read it?
Again, I wouldn't know. I might have read it at some point, but I probably have forgotten all about it, if I did.
If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying?
Yeah, maybe I should try to find this paper.
Forget it. They don't sell those kind of books at crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Yeah, that's a pity. But maybe I can find it somewhere else. Well, I guess that's all I can ask at the moment. So, thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of like a walking encyclopedia. Lots of information, and maybe some small pieces of it might actually be useful for me somewhere down the road. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so that was an interesting conversation. Also, I think I got like a skill point last episode, so I should use it for something. I feel that I have neglected my intellect for a while. I mean, most of the stats are pretty good, but maybe I want to increase some of them anyway. I mean, drama would be the obvious choice since it's the lowest, but I just noticed that I did pass a medium drama skill check, so I guess 4 is enough for medium. So maybe I should invest it in something else to be able to pass higher skill checks with one of these. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to be overly strategic here and I should just invest it into whatever. I don't know. Let's put it into drama. Just to make it even. Now we have 5, 7, 5, 5, 5, and 7. I like that. Okay, so at the moment, can't really do anything else here, but might be able to go down here. Okay, I mean, this is just going back to where I came from, but apparently I can actually go through here. Right, let's see. And I remember I still have to go to the other side of this place as well. And I have like a look at my map. Where exactly am I now? Probably somewhere around here. This gotta be the mural, right? Yeah, this is the Ferris wheel on the boardwalk where we found the dead man, and this doesn't exist. And yeah, there's still like the church over here that I haven't checked out yet, so I gotta return that at some point. But now we're here, so let's look at this place first. There's definitely some stuff that I can pick up. No boat in the boathouse today. Maybe no boat in the boathouse ever, because this looks kind of broken. Ooh, what do we got here? More for my morale. I mean, I'm doing good on morale items at this point. 11 charges. Savoir-faire, but less visual calculus. Let me have a look at it. Currently, I have plus visual calculus and minus drama, which I just increased, so I guess I don't want to decrease it again. And again, my visual calculus is like really good and my savoir-faire is not. So this actually might be an acceptable trade-off. Is your own stardom too dazzling for your eyes? Can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror? Then these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. Yep, this sounds like something I want to wear. There we go. Also, I'm still wearing this hat that gives me more encyclopedia. But I never really found like a hat that's better. I have the conical hat over here, but I don't really like those stats. But yeah, I guess this isn't too bad. Now my visual calculus is 5. But my savoir-faire is much better. Alright. I guess we will use this setup for now. Oh, and I also got a thought. I almost forgot about that. Let me have a look at that. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. -1 suggestion. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wonder Twins Guy and Keith Yost are the stars of the show with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Dommiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSPV'd. Where were you if you are not there? Yeah, good question. I guess I will have to internalize this to find out. I don't know. I am tempted to actually go for that one. Anyway, let's collect more stuff. Okay, before I check out this over here, can I go more in this direction? Oh, this seems to be more or less invisible wall. What if I try to go around it? Nope, I can't. Can't go here. Okay, can I go here? Yes, I can. Alright. First of all, let me have a look at this. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. So what is this over here?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Of course, now I actually need more visual calculus, so I will have to change my glasses again. Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something definitely gone down here. Bullet holes on the plaza. Know about the revolution, know about felt electrical. Okay, I can make this better. Alright, visual calculus. Do I have anything else that will give me more visual calculus? Yes. And let's make sure I check out everything else as well. But then again, why should any of the other pieces of clothes give me visual calculus? But why should the jacket give me visual calculus? Alright, now we're at 8. Come on, this has got to work.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
I like these odds.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement.
So, is this where they killed the engineers?
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side.
Yep, I guess this is the one giving the commands.
Droplets of rain fall on the wooden planks, the surrounding sand dunes. The clouds block out any rays of light. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this? Well, looks like an execution to me.
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Okay, so they were all basically killing these people. Look at the people against the wall. Look at the line of soldiers. Look at the person standing on the side. Kim, who was this? Who was who in this execution? Yeah, let's have a closer look at all of these people. First, the ones against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background.
I'm actually surprised that you can discern the fact that they were facing the wall. Also, it doesn't really look like in this visual representation. It looks like they're facing the soldiers, but okay.
Ordinary people. Familiar. Each and every one of them.
So who were they?
Comrades. The forsaken. The wretched. Who tried to rise against the horrors of the world.
So maybe not the engineers. But yeah, let's look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side. But from which one?
Look at the person standing on the side. I don't know, they're wearing uniforms, so these might not be revolutionaries. These might as well be, you know, some of the Revachol guards or soldiers or whatever. And these are the revolutionaries. It could go either way, to be honest. So yeah, let's look at the person standing on the side.
The commandant. The one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Kim, who was who in this execution? Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution.
Right.
Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
What if it was a Feld personnel when the assets were being seized by the revolutionaries? Yeah, I mean, that would fit what he was telling us. I'm not sure if it fits this description, but still.
Another likely scenario.
The lieutenant nods.
Or maybe...
You mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall? I guess so. But then again, like I said, these guys are all wearing uniforms, so it would indicate that they're soldiers. Of course, at some point, the communists may have, you know, formed a proper army with uniforms and all of that as well. And at first, when they were revolutionaries, they were probably just wearing, like, regular stuff. But at some point, they probably adopted all of that, you know, uniforms and so on. So I guess it could have been them as well.
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Right.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Alright, that was fascinating. Again, not sure if that is ever going to be useful, but still fascinating. A bit of lore. Okay, well, my high visual calculus actually paid off nicely here. So I guess we can change back now. There we go. So what do we got here? The sign says Entrée interdite. Entry forbidden. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. Oh, so previously people came from here. They had to pay a ticket, and then they were able to enter the boardwalk. Is that what's going on here? Anyway, now we can finally explore this part of the boardwalk. And some more money. And some more tear. What do we got here? The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. Ooh, what is that? FALN Pipo. +2 logic, -1 perception. Huh. Let me have a look at that. The small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking FALN pipo head gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. I'm not sure if I need to be like aerodynamically optimized. I mean, +2 logic isn't bad. What's my perception? My perception is like off the charts. Right. So maybe I actually do want to wear this. It looks really, really strange. But it's a decent payoff. +2 logic and my perception is really high anyway. So maybe I'm actually going to wear this. Well, I mean, gotta reduce that drag coefficient, right? A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? Well, no way to find out because I can't get inside. And I mean, I'm still supposed to, you know, see if our shooter may have shot from the boardwalk. The problem is, this is like really, really far away, is it not? So where would he have like a clear line of sight to actually shoot? This is the window, right? So it would have to be somewhere over here, I guess. Maybe on one of the buildings, and he would have a clean sight. Right? Or she, if it was Ruby. So, yeah, I still need to find where exactly the shot could have come from.
There's no way the perp isn't here, officer. Look how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed.
Can I try to get in though? Kim, you think? She's in there, point at the boarded up building. Nothing more to do here. Yeah, is there any way that I could get in there?
Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable. But I like the spirit. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without points.
Yes, give me some points. My physical instrument points aren't that great. So, Kim, do you think that she might be in here?
The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in, though many have tried.
Yeah, probably. And we may have to find a way inside as well, but at the moment, nothing more to do here. Alright. And yeah, I think I can't actually go down here. I mean, I did try to go up here and it didn't work, so I probably have to go back to where I came from, huh? But I mean, I want to go there anyway because we saw some people on the beach, so let's just return. I'm just going to let him find his way because it's kinda tricky to navigate here. Alright. Back to the beach it is. And let's see what else is going on around here. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. I wonder why that is. Okay, before I go and talk to these guys, let me quickly look around. I may actually want to postpone talking to them because the episode is starting to get long and this might take a while. A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. So maybe for now I'm just going to explore this place. I'm just saying, as a River-Sholian, I'm slightly worried. What do you mean? These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. Right. More defense items. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. Tiny cages carefully constructed. Yeah, I wonder what these guys are trying to catch here. I mean, they look like fish cages, but then they would have to be in the water. Right, I will We'll take the money. And okay, it looks like this is actually the end of the beach. Oh, hang on, hang on. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Is this what he's trying to do? Get a fire going? Oh yeah, he is. And in the rain, no less. Yeah, that's probably not going to work all that well. Anyway, since there isn't anything else to look at here, I guess I'm actually going to talk to one of these guys.
Here we go. Nice and easy.
Oh, it's a
No way out,
cryptozoologist.
little guys. Not out of this gem.
We found him, and he's actually alive. Do you know that your wife is waiting for you?
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Oh, so he's trying to trap some crypto animals with these traps.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Right.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Why is that guy called the crypto-fascist? So we got a cryptozoologist and a crypto-fascist. Uh-huh.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Burrell, the cryptozoologist. Yes, I would assume so.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
You don't seem too happy to see the RCM. Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back. Right.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Well, actually, it's working again.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice water lock.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back. The water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it with the whole story. Nah, I will own that story.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I guess you're right. It was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now. No, it was all me. I caused your delay and I'm sorry, but you can return now. Well, if he wants to blame the sign, in that case, I suppose it's fine with me.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, that's what I said.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
I will. Also, do you know that your friend is a fascist? I mean, if he's a crypto-fascist, then presumably he's hiding the fact that he's a fascist. Why else would he be a crypto-fascist? This is so weird.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
Indeed.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
Right, you're hunting a phasmid. He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run? Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for. Tell me more about these traps. Lena seems pretty eager for you to return. How did you become a cryptozoologist? All good questions. I probably won't get around to ask all of them today, so maybe let's ask for the suspect first.
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, fair enough.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Well, he can't tell me any more about the suspect, so let's talk about the phasmid.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find. which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
So what makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Right.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself? Yes, tell me all about it.
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Fascinating if that phasmid is actually real.
But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
So how big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
I mean, for some kind of insect, it's not that bad. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals out there? You would think so.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
All right, if you say so.
Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far? Yes, tell me about it.
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Right.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
Valid question.
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said that there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez. Yeah, I guess she did say that.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
So have you ever considered that maybe it has gone extinct?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Okay, that is reproduction without a partner, right?
He means asexual reproduction.
Yes.
The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Indeed, that's pretty clever. Females reproducing without males, a travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. I mean, it works for these species, clearly. This arouses no special feelings in me. No, I think it's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Well, I really would like to talk to you about this even more, but the episode is getting very long, so we will continue this in the next episode. Let's leave him to his work for now, and yeah, we will continue here next episode. So as always, thank you for watching, and see you again next time.